Reasons I need to be on council: save taxpayer dollars, solidify infrastructure, and assure transparency to the taxpayers. In a nutshell. I don't really need to be on council to get things done. I do that already. The issue is with the timing. We've requested plenty of renovations, plenty of tax dollars to be allocated towards infrastructure, and the current city council members that are sitting on there, to include the mayor, just basically waste the taxpayers' time and make them live in environments that are not safe. They're not safe at all. So again, the reasons I need to be on city council is to catch the city up, because we are so far behind.
What do you think about present council members?
I'm not a fan. Some things they do right. Majority of the things when it comes to the allocation of tax dollars doesn't benefit the taxpayer. And the reason I say that is because when you look around, our infrastructure it's literally crumbling. You look at the North 18th bridge that had a hole in it. The city never even fixed that. We had TxDOT that came in and gave us $1.8 million. We have a dam that needs to be widened because the street on top of the dam is basically falling into the water. That has been blocked off for 3 years. That street has been blocked off for 3 years. So instead of the city going in and putting in tax dollars to widen the dam, they're going to go build a $9 million road around the dam.
What is your agenda?
My agenda? To not struggle, to drive on roads that don't have holes in them, to go to recreation centers whose ceilings aren't leaking, to provide my children with an environment that's healthy, that's sound, that's safe, so that they could thrive. That's my agenda. My agenda is to have a good life.
What do you think about library issues?
Are we talking about books, or are we talking about like the building itself?
Both.
Well, there was an issue that came up with the library books that can be very sticky. At the end of the day, I wouldn't want to see that book in there, but I mean, it is public tax dollars, so that's kind of like me saying that I don't want that book in there, that the book shouldn't be in there, is kind of being contradictory, because I want certain things done in my city, but I don't want to be cut out either. So that's a tricky question. They did go and they did move the books into the adult sections. They did go, and I think there is a restriction for certain ages. I would like to see the age restriction moved up, like to 18. Now, the books that are pornographic in nature, I don't think that they have any business in the library. So that's it in a nutshell about the books. Now, as far as the actual infrastructure, like we were just talking about, we own the library building downtown in Abilene. We're fixing to move that, and it's already been approved, into a building where we're going to pay $40,000 a month for 40 years. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. So by the time we're done paying that, we're going to pay for someone else's building to get built, and at the end of the day, the taxpayer isn't going to have anything to show for it. Right now, we have a library that we don't pay mortgage and we don't pay rent on. We've already paid it off.
Can you tell me something about the bonds, what city is doing? Do we really need these bonds to be taken?
No. You don't need to allocate any more funds to the people that are currently sitting on council, because they're not doing right by the taxpayer. If the infrastructure was solidified, if we had businesses who are coming in here voluntarily and organically implanting in our town, and the DCOA wasn't having to financially bribe them, then at that point maybe consider giving them a little bit more money. But what needs to happen right now is we need to bring it back. We need to bring it back. We need to sit down, look at the budget, and figure out where exactly the money's going, and cut whatever extra expenses that we have that is requiring them to continue to come in the taxpayer's wallet and basically steal their money, because that's what they're doing.
Whom you want to see next mayor?
Somebody who's going to do right by the taxpayer.
Who is the right person, you think, out of 3, 4?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
What's your general idea? Who can do better?
I can tell you who I have an issue with. I can tell you I got an issue with Weldon Hurt. I can tell you that because of the way that he's allocating the tax dollars. He has voted yes on every item that has to do with bonds, that has to do with, bonds, general certificate of obligations, the hotel, all that. So I'm not a fan of Weldon due to the fact that he's frivolously, I can never say that. He's throwing the taxpayer dollar in the wind, is what he's doing. I'm still doing research on other candidates at this point.
Okay. Can you tell me something about firefighters?
I love them. We got some hot firefighters in Abilene, I can tell you that. I think we need a calendar. I think that's how we can make money. I'm not even kidding. I mean, that's. I have covered a lot of fires, and I've kind of, they left an impression.
What do you think firefighters need it now?
Be a firefighter.
What do I think they need now? I think they need a break. I think code enforcement needs to step up. That's another issue that the city has. We have individuals who are breaking into homes. They're squatting in there. You can't get them out because you're having to evict them. They're going in there and houses are being set on fires. People can't sleep in their neighborhoods. Firefighters can't sleep because we have buildings going up in flames.
If Cynthia wins, what is the first step she's going to take?
When
Yes.
Cynthia wins, put the Sears Park board or the Sears Park. I requested $1.7 million. Well, not just me, but there was a group of us. We requested $1.7 million worth of renovations for Sears. That included an ADA accessible playground, and this request was made, 3 years ago? An ADA accessible playground, a full basketball court. They fixed the tennis courts, an outdoor gym, renovate the center. They've already done the track, and lights all throughout the park that includes security cameras and turf on every field in the baseball fields.
Tell me something about downtown hotel.
It's a waste of tax dollars, and it's going to end up costing the taxpayer a lot more than 80 some odd million dollars. What a lot of people don't realize is your water and your sewer. Your water and your sewer back the hotel. If the hotel does not take, your water and sewer will go up because our bonds have been sold to the public.
Tell me one good thing about Anthony Williams, present mayor.
There's not anything good to say about him. I don't have anything good to say about him. I think he needs to go sit down and talk with Jesus. I honestly think he needs to go and confess. Not even kidding.
Tell me something about he got a good job after 4 years doing favors to the ACU, and he has a good job right now.
Does he? Are you talking about with the land board with Don Buckingham? Or are you talking about the job he has at
ACU, he got a good job in ACU right now.
I think it's just you scratch my back, I scratch yours. I think that's what that is. I think he's being his negative behavior and his negative, and the way in which he's getting rewarded. He's getting rewarded for negative behavior,
Which is illegal, right?
if you can prove it. Yeah, but we can't get a hold of their. I want to know how much they make. I want to know what his salary is. I want to know what Kyle McAllister's wife's salary is, to include Shane Price, because there is a bias there, and although they don't vote on certain things, there's been things that have happened that that just doesn't make ACU look very good.
Thank you, Cynthia.
You're welcome.